What's up guys, and we're back with another Mortal Kombat 1 video today, and it's kind of a short one, but I have a question, or at least a speculation I'd like to bring to y'all. So Combat Pack 1's first characters dropped today in Mortal Kombat, and with that is the arrival of Omni-Man, and this raises a couple of questions for me regarding how he'll play different from Homelander. So we all know Omni-Man and Homelander are two interpretations of Superman, but with tweaks here and there, primarily being darker characters. But playing as Omni-Man finally had me asking a bit more questions about how his gameplay will and can differ from a character like Homelander. See, these characters are not entirely carbon copies of Superman. While not possessing abilities like full-blown vulnerability or freeze breath, they're still pretty super strong when compared to other characters on the list, and I'd say being more alike with each other rather than the original Superman. So starting off with Omni-Man's playstyle, we see Nolan as a very one-to-one comparison with the show's character interpretation, keeping that brutality the character is well known for, along with his amazing voice work from J.K. Simmons, while adding things from the media like his train scene with Invincible as his fatality and his movesets that are heavily inspired from the show as well. He retains that fast and kind of hardened fight style throughout his abilities such as Viltrumite stance combos, Invincible rush, Mega clap, and his basic attacks. And I gotta say, Omni-Man is a very, if not broken, aggressive type of character in his character launch. The ability to move around super quick compared to characters in previous games like Cabal and Superman and Injustice is just kind of immeasurable, really putting weight to his character's punches in a sadistic and brutal way for sure. And this character's combos hit pretty well when you can chain them together, hit streams and all of that, and prove that, you gotta watch for his quick movements at all times because he could be behind you, above you, at all times. Also, gotta say, I love the dodging with the Viltrumite stance. Satisfying as hell. So that was my first impression of the character when I was able to get some decent hands on him. But then I started to wonder, how does this help build a profile for a character like Homelander who could be very similar or different at the same time? So I ended up looking back at the show a little bit, and I will say oftentimes Homelander, well, when he's attacking people for algorithm's sakes, he uses what I call elegant stiffness. And this means when he isn't trying to come at people with a straight up one-on-one combat approach, he'd much rather put a hole through you or use heat vision just to avoid contact altogether. See, Homelander doesn't really move fast in ways like Omni-Man would or does. While yes, for sure he has the super speed, but oftentimes it's a very A to B rather than a brutality approach. It's basically his glorified means of transportation. So what I think could differentiate these two characters together would be giving Homelander various abilities where he kind of makes swift moves to get into a place to land attacks, or his heat vision with a certain attack set. Because matching this character, especially with the likeness of Anthony Starr, you don't want to take and have Homelander's fighting and mannerisms stray too much from the source, that being the show this time around. You can have his combat delve into this godlike complex he has developed, like having him fly up in a combo and shoot down from his eyes in a fury or rage, showing how he views being above people. Or swift movements towards characters and landing not crazy attacks, but attacks that might in one swift powerful move push you back in the area. Another interesting addition is keeping him hovering above the ground as a form of movement, whereas Omni-Man walks, if not in his Viltrumite stance. And last but not least, having him push characters back in an animation with like one arm behind his back with that flick of the wrist would be a perfect stylized choice to help differentiate these two characters, showing he has the powers, but he's so like stiff with it, he's so in tune to himself, so they could both have their qualities and cons while playing them. That's kind of how I feel or want them to pull off these characters, because if not having an offense and defense style between these two Supermen, it's like what real change between them exists besides looks, voice, and stance, and I assume giving them this versatility can help them and show NetherRealm can put a change up in the medium, making something so similar be so different all at once. I thought I'd make this quick and short though, because I would like to know y'all's opinions on this matter now that we have seen the first version of this character with Omni-Man and how it might turn out with Homelander. Also, NetherRealm, I think it's a tease making these characters so far spaced out from each other, but you also put their silhouettes on the character screen. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.